Oh, Fluffy's gonna do that to us someday with all the stuff she eats.
Shh, no, don't tempt fate. All right, today is stretch and strength yoga, and our theme is purity, purification, clarity, cleanliness. And today we're going to work with a practice called the Five Tibetans. So first we're going to do the Five Tibetans, and then we're going to do some slow stretchy stuff. So the Five Tibetans are an old purity cleansing practice. It's 5 exercises that you do 21 times. One of them is turning. This is supposed to get you a little wonky, a little disorientated. Take it easy. Maybe start with just 3 if you've never done this before. Maybe just start with where you're at and don't do the full 21 turns. Take it easy. Listen to your body. So first we're going to just start by grounding. So feel your feet. Move your feet around. Make sure you know where your feet are. Feel the ground. Maybe peel up a heel at a time. Maybe roll the ankles a little, feeling the ankles. Just start to take some movements, really landing on your mat. And the 5 Tibetans are very much a cleansing kind of all body practice. In fact, many times over the years when I've been struggling to find a lot of time, this will be my 20-minute daily practice. So be able to squeeze it in somewhere, and this kind of covers it all. So you're moving with your breath, you're doing a whole body movement. So find your feet underneath your hips, start to really land in mountain pose, and we're going to connect to our breath first. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, prayer to heart. Really starting to land in present moment, land in your breath. Get to know what is present. How do you feel? How do you feel physically, emotionally, mentally? Bring your hands to prayer at heart space. And when we think about purification, try to think of it as burning up things that are no longer needed. So find your center, find your hands at your heart. And think about connecting to your center. And thinking about purification being connecting to our center. So burning up, getting rid of things that are in the way of this connection, the connection to our innermost self. So we burn up anything muscular holding, any mental patterns we need to get rid of. Think about burning them, getting rid of them, getting them out of the way. And it's not that parts of us are good and parts of us are bad. We're just getting the roadblocks out of the way, clearing the path for connection. So the first of the 5 Tibetans is to take your arms out. Palms can be up or down. We're going to take our arms out and hold them here. You want to move in a slow circle. We're going to go counterclockwise and count 21. You want the circle to be slow, and if you're prone to getting a little disorientated or dizzy, you keep your eyes open, but try to keep your eyes soft and refocus at the point where you started. It will help. So start it with a nice slow breath 21 times. And when you complete your 21, land in mountain pose. Allow the world to continue moving. Bring your hands to prayer at heart space. And find a couple of grounding breaths. Be present with any sensations. Maybe the world is spinning, maybe it's not. Just notice what is present. Take a moment. And then we're slowly going to come down to our knees. You may wish to put something in underneath your knees. We're going to move into camel. So all of these practices are with our breath. You move with your breath. You move slow and controlled, and each thing is done 21 times, 21 breaths. So this camel pose, you can place something under your knees. You can have your toes tucked or untucked. Pressing your tops of your feet down into the ground can actually help you. It can help you remember to strengthen the legs. Tricks for camel pose, rather than pulling backwards, think about pushing your hips forward. So push your hips forward and engage your quads and your hip flexors. And then lean backwards. Try not to let your head drop onto your neck. Just lean with your shoulders. So start neutral, find a neutral spot, just get grounded. Our inhale is going to be back, our exhale is center. Start small and you do 21 times. So inhale, exhale, count. When you're done, bring your hips down, find a neutral spine. Allow the hands to rest in the lap. Palms up, palms down, shoulders soft. Find your breath. As you're starting to work through this practice, notice what you do with your breath in the practice. Sometimes we find these little patterns. As we get closer to 21, we start to move it a little faster, and then our 21st one is nice and long and the most perfect one. We have these little patterns, so it's a great time to get inside, get to know your own little patterns. And our next one is down on our back. So this one is all about burning up core muscles. You're going to be careful here. So we're going to bring them down onto the back. I need to move my hair out the way. Onto the back. Our inhale is reach up, arms up, legs up. Our inhale is long, our exhale is squeeze. So we're going to inhale, long body, abs strong, exhale up, squeeze. However, this can be very intense, so if you need to make it smaller, make it smaller. Bringing your legs less high up off the ground or bringing your legs less close to the ground. So right here, you're going to be full engaged. It's going to be intense. If your legs are right here, not as intense. If they're bent, little easier. So find the place where you can work. It's 21 breaths. It's a lot of work. You should be generating heat. That's the point of the whole exercise, getting core heat. You can also engage, making sure you're pressing your hips down into your ground and the rib cage down into the ground so that you're really firing up some of the outer edge muscles of the torso and also maybe some of the back. So, set up. Inhale is long. Exhale, squeeze in. Count 21 times. Try to move with your breath. Try not to pause. If you skip, you need to take a break. Take a whole breath. And when you're done, knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Find your breath. The next one is tabletop to stop. So come on up to a seated position. I have really short arms, so I modify this one. Not everybody will have to modify. If you can sit in soft pose, so soft pose is actually an intense pose that a lot of people ignore. We think that this is like a skip through to something else. We start here and reach for our toes. This is an intense pose. We're supposed to be active, pressing down into our heels, not pushing the backs of our knees down so the legs are active. You can pull your toes towards the shins and make your legs more active. Hip bones down on the ground. Tall, tall, tall spine. This is soft pose. Now, I find, my blocks are not steady. I find giving my hands something to put onto, give myself a little more space to lift my hips helps me. So we're going to have our hands comfortable. Check in on your base because we're moving with our breath and not paying as much attention. So set up your wrists so that they're comfortable and safe first. And we're going to lift through. So we lift up to tabletop. So our inhale is up to tabletop. Our exhale is back to soft pose, active soft pose. So our hips will be a little lifted off the ground. So start 21 times. Watch for dropping your head back when you're in reverse tabletop. So try and keep your head in line with your neck. So where it is now, keep it there. So maybe a little attention, just bringing your chin down a teeny bit towards the chest so that you're engaged through the front of the neck. 21 times, let's go. Inhale up, exhale back. Land in soft pose, soles of the feet to the ground, and you can wrap yourself around, let your head rest wherever it's comfortable. A little ball. Find your breath. Experience heat moving in the body. And our final one is down dog to up dog. So, lots of ways to modify this, to be careful. So, a lot of people can move down dog through to up dog over the toes without problems. If this is something you can do, go ahead. Ways to modify this so that it's a little easier, a little safer, a little more attentive to what might be going on in your spine. If you have anything going on in your spine, anything going on in your wrists, you're going to take it to a flying up dog. So you start in your down dog and you come forward from the tailbone. So you're pushing from the tailbone, come up, and don't sink the hips all the way down. So moving forward, coming up, holding nice and strong. So it's more of a modified plank. You can also take it completely different and just move from tabletop to child's pose. Similar movement. You'll be able to build a little heat if you're working with your breath. If you like, you can make it a floating child. So tabletop floating child, that will generate some heat and take some of the stress out of the spinal space. So make a choice where you would like to be. Remember, the practice doesn't have to be what's perfect in somebody else's body. So 21 times. Your inhale is up, your exhale is down dog. Inhale forward, up. So 21 times. Wherever you're at, find either a child's or all the way down to crocodile when you're done. And land and notice. Come on up slowly through child. And then to a seat. And that was 21 breaths for 5 exercises. notice how you feel. It's about a 20-minute practice, a nice, easy practice that kind of covers the whole body. So check in with how the whole body feels, how you feel mentally and emotionally, what feels different. And then we'll rub the hands together a little, make them warm, and bring one on top of the other over the heart space. And just imagine that we've generated all this heat in the muscles, and now we're really connecting in towards center. And the rest of class is going to be slow and stretchy. That was our heat part of the class, so now we're going to be slow and stretchy. So perhaps taking a moment to promise your physical body that you're going to stay present. You're going to listen to the body. Be with the physical body, listen to the muscles, listen to joints and other things, talking as we practice. And then if you have straps, you're going to grab a strap, keep it handy. If you don't have it, you're going to work with the hands. So get into a comfortable seat, whatever that is. If you'd like to lift your hips up a little onto a block, onto a cushion, maybe you want to just sit on a chair. We're going to be here for just a little bit. We're going to take this strap into our right hand, and we're going to let it come behind our head. We're going to reach behind and grab it. So you can do this with a hand towel, you can do this with a t-shirt, anything. You're going to reach behind, grab it with the left. So you have a strap between the right hand and the left hand. Holding on, checking in on the wrists. My little fingers caught in mine. So we're going to pull right elbow up to the ceiling. We're not going to touch the head. We're not taking anything into the neck. We're worrying about arms and shoulder. Pull right elbow up to the ceiling, and then don't let the left arm move from where it is. So you're holding, and we're going to pull it up and pull it down. Pull it up and pull it down. Little pulses. Or if you like, if this just feels great, stretching into the back of the right tricep, you want to hold it, just go ahead and take it slow and stretchy. Engage through both arms. Slowly let the hands come back towards each other and switch sides. So don't let it slingshot. I heard that. It's controlled. Left arm up, take it back. Let the right hand catch. And then check in on your wrists. Make sure that you're not holding it in a way that's pulling into anything on your wrist. Hold your right arm where it is, and then pull the left elbow up, 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 up to the ceiling.
Where am I supposed to be feeling?
Huh?
Where am I supposed to be feeling this?
Put your elbow backwards. There you go.
Feeling it in the elbow?
In the elbow, you're supposed to feel it right here.
I feel it in the elbow.
Okay, so change your grip. Change your grip. No, you're there. Change your grip. Push elbow up.
Okay.
Do you feel it less in the arm now, not the elbow?
Yeah.
You don't want to feel it in the joint. So again, little poses or hold. Yogi's choice. Watch for tension in the neck. Watch for what you're doing for compensation patterns, low back, neck.
Watch for your granny joints.
Let go with the right hand and then slowly unravel. So take your arms, take your shoulders, little circles. Pick your shoulders all the way up and let them drop a couple of times. Wrap the strap around just above the right wrist. Take your hands behind you. Wrap it just above the left wrist. Press your hands into the straps. So, things to watch for here. Low back, neck. So be soft in the low back and neck. Just work the arms pressing into the strap. Press in and then push your hands further away from you. So you're reaching through the fingertips. Press the arms into the strap. Press the fingertips down. Option to lift the arms. And then option to pull them back down, or find the place where you like how it feels. So you're lifting and lowering, or you're just pressing and stretching and lengthening. Again, look for your neck, check on your neck, check on your low back. We're just working arms and shoulders. Slowly release arms. Release again. Flick your glitter, loosen and soften your arms. Take your right leg out, left leg out, right leg bent, knee up. Again, you can stay up on the block, you can stay on the ground. We're gonna hold onto the left foot. So wrap your strap around the ball of the foot. So be careful about wrapping it around in the arch of the foot. People can be sensitive here. So hold, press your foot into the strap, press your spine long, hold here. Maybe lift the leg a little more. Breathe. Notice how this feels. We're going to do this standing and balancing also. Slowly lower, unravel, left foot to the ground. So make sure this left leg is on the ground where it's comfortable. You're not pulling the knee too tight or pulling anything strange in the hip. Wrap around the ball of the right foot. Nice and long. Press into the strap. So press down energy through this right hip, tall through the spine, out through the foot, lengthening. And if this is super easy for you and it doesn't really feel like anything, just pay attention. Some stretches are easy for other people and more difficult for others. We're going to do the same thing standing. So notice how much different it is when we add balance to the equation. Slowly unravel. We're going to cross over our legs and come on up to a forward fold. So feet underneath hips. Find your feet underneath your hips. Find a place where your back is comfortable. You can take the tension out of your head and neck. Find your forward fold. Option to hang out in a forward fold, or if you'd like to return to wrapping the strap in underneath above your wrists. And then taking a forward fold with your arms engaged into the straps and coming forward. Just watch for tension in the neck. Breathe and release forward. Pay attention to the weight in your feet. Try not to be too much into the balls or too far into the heels. Nice, even grounding through the feet. And breathe. What can you let go of? Deep bend in the knees. Slowly bring the arms back down towards the hips. And inhale as we rise all the way to stand. Release the strap if it's around your wrists. Notice your feet. And take a little step backwards with the left leg, coming to pyramid pose. So watch your own hips. There's lots of people who say there are rules about where your feet should be. Be where your hips and ankles and feet feel most comfortable. Land the right foot down. Think about pulling up all the way to the right hip, and then bring the torso forward. Again, checking in, constantly checking in on ankles, knees, any joints. We're not looking to strain joints. We're looking to open the back of the right leg. Hold in pyramid. Notice how this is with your torso neutral rather than folding your knee to the nose. this is not opening this front leg enough, you can adjust by giving it a little more space and putting the front leg onto a block, pulling backwards. Breathe. Think about long, long hamstrings. Back of your leg being long and open. If you would like to challenge your balance, you're going to try and bring your hands out even and lift the toes of the right foot. See if you can balance. Maybe sink the hips and bend the right leg. Challenge your balance. Slowly bring the torso back up. Grab the block if you haven't already. We're going to place the ball of the right foot onto the block, and we're going to lengthen by pressing the heel down and then pulling the heel up. So just keep soft in the back leg. Make sure the ankle and the knee is in a comfortable position. Just focusing in on this right leg, particularly lower, close to the heel. As you get used to this, maybe you want to pull the left leg back up and start to come up and really pedal. So you're pressing one heel up, one heel down, but you have to really focus. Woo. Focus, not talk and move. Focus on your balance. Be mindful so that you're not tweaking an ankle. Listen to your body. Slowly bring it back to mountain pose. Take a look in at left and right sides. And then step the right leg back. Set up for your pyramid pose. Hips face forward, pull all the way up. So lengthen first. You can imagine you're trying to pull the feet apart without letting them move, or pull them together. Two ways to engage the legs to connect more to the muscles that we're stretching. Lengthen the torso, bring it forward. Find your pyramid pose. Again, if this is not enough, you can bring this left foot onto the block. Lift and pull. Bend the back leg a little more. Find more space in the back of the left leg. And if you'd like to challenge your balance wherever you're at, lifting the toes of the left leg, bending the right. If this is not enough of a balance challenge, you can try and peel up the heel of the right leg. Woo. Lots of places to take it. And then wherever you're at, slowly lift the torso. Bring the ball of the left foot onto the block. And we're going to start to pull the heel down and pull the heel up. Soft right leg. Finding the back of the leg. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I just flipped the block.
No broken ankles today.
Be slow, be slow. And then, if you're focused and slow and careful, please.
I was sitting like this. I just flipped the block.
Slow, slow, slow. So, you have to move slow and pay attention whenever you're working with the blocks, because they do move. So you really have to rely on your own strength to slow your movement down so you know where you are. So pressing down through the heel and lifting. If you like this stretch, you can do it on a stair. So nice solid step, holding onto a banister, stretching through the back of this heel. And then bring it back, mountain pose. Toss the block out of the way. Tap the legs out of your strap. We're going to go into our balancing. So we're going to do that same stretch we did seated. So you can hold your leg. You do not have to use the strap. You can hold your knee. You can hold your leg. You can try and challenge your balance by just holding the foot up. See if you can challenge these muscles. So we're going to start with the left leg. Bring your weight and your attention into the right. Little soft bend. Think about your balancing muscles first. So imagine you're squeezing the hip bones together and pulling the stomach towards the spine. And from the tailbone, getting taller. So pressing up through the crown of the head. Bring the left leg bent forward first. Ooh, try not to send the right hip out to balance. See if you can hold it here with the hips even. So check in your hips, find your hip bones, see if they're even, and then see if you can catch the foot. Taking it out without throwing the hips in one direction or another. Maybe you can pull it up. Breathe, balance. So, option to just hang out here and challenge your balance. Or if you'd like to take some movements, some challenges, we're going to take our right hand onto the strap. Left hand out. We're going to let our foot cross our body a little bit, staying strong and active. And then our left hand is going to reach behind us. And we're going to twist. Get taller, stay balanced. Slowly bring it back to the center when there's a room full of moving people. All right, bring it back to the center. Bring it knee up. We're going to send the left leg behind. So we're going to catch the ankle just above the ankle, never on the joint. We're going to send the left leg behind. So holding here, pressing your foot into the strap, you can feel a quad stretch. So maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you bend the right leg. I can't balance today. Maybe you bend the right leg a little more and press the heel away from you and into the strap, trying to feel left quad a little more. If you'd like to try and come to full dancer with the strap, hold on to it with the left hand. Right hand comes forward, and you're going to press the foot into the strap. So you can hold it many different ways. If you'd like to go to full dancer, you're going to hold. You can hold the foot, press in, or Kayla's going to demonstrate flip the shoulders. Wherever you're at, push the foot into the band. Activate the left leg. Slowly bring it back.
We'll wait for that.
And unravel. And tap out the right leg because we were on that foot. So tap it out.
I need balance more on my right leg.
That was very pretty.
Tuck the toes under and then pull forward. Open up the front of the foot.
You do more balancing on my right leg. I'm all uneven because I only balance on my left leg.
And then switch sides. So left leg balancing. Find your base first and check in, because sometimes we bring our feet closer together and that makes it harder to balance. And sometimes we make it a little harder because we bring our feet wider. So know where your patterns are. Try to get your feet in a place where you feel super stable while you're standing with 2 feet first. Little soft bend in the knees so you have lots of energy in your legs. And then we're going to bring right leg forward. Try not to throw out that left hip. And then wrap the band around the ball of the right foot. Or just hold. You can hold underneath the knee. You can hold the foot.
I still don't understand how you lift your leg without moving your weight.
Great. Try not to laugh while you're trying to balance. Okay, so either holding here, just challenging your balance, or you're going to switch hands. So left hand takes the strap, right hand opens up, nice and slow. Bring the left foot slightly across the body and then pull right shoulder open. Get long, long, long. So imagine you're pushing through the right hand and through the ball of the right leg. Breathe. Slowly untwist, back to center, bend the right leg, and send it backwards. Wow, everybody did that. Send it backwards, find the quad engagement first. So you want to find front hip flexor, front of the thigh first. So press the foot into the strap, hold, and then maybe coming forward to full dancer. Sorry. Breathe, lengthen, engage the right leg. And then slowly unravel. And tap out the left foot. Tuck toes under, land on the top of the foot, pull forward. So really stretching through the front of the foot. And then a few more balancing things, just balancing and engaging and connecting with our legs. You can toss this strap out. We're going to stand on the left leg. We're going to pull the right hip up. So pull the heel up, hip up. So we're really engaged through the right leg. We're going to turn the heel out and in, out and in. Trying not to lock left leg. Trying just to move right leg out and in. See how many muscles you can find. This inner thigh right up top should burn.
I clicked something back into place.
Did it feel good? I love when that happens. Out and in, out and in. Okay, take that right heel out to the right, and we're going to heel toe. So heel and then toe. Slow, controlled heel toe. Soft movement. Notice which muscles are firing up. Bring your heel toe back towards center.
I just saw this. We look pretty funny.
We're dancing, cowboys. We're doing line dancing, right? Bring it out to the right again.
Yeah.
Land it, shake it out. Other side. So get strong on the right leg without locking the knee, and then pull the left heel up. So you're pulling the leg into the hip. Nice and strong. Turn the heel out and in. Out and in. Should really start to feel these little tiny muscles right in the top of the thigh. So exercise we can also do laying on our backs and just isolating the muscles in the leg. And then take it heel toe, or toe heel as I just did. And then take it out to the right. Slow, controlled, trying to move only the left leg. Bring it back through center. And then all the way out to the right again. Back to mountain pose. Give it a little shake and wiggle. Let it go. Hands left to right. Imagine we're cleaning our space, so swishing our air, swishing all that energy around us, cleaning it. Think about maybe all stale air, giving it a swish, giving it a clean. And back to mountain pose and connect to our breath. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, heart to heart. Inhale, scoop and fresh. Exhale, release out what we no longer need. Prayer to heart and hold. And then we're going to inhale up and swan, dive it down. Touch the ground. Step back, high plank. Hold here in high plank or lower the knees to tabletop or hovering tabletop. Hold and breathe. One last challenge. Build some heat. So, staying here, staying in a hovering hovering tabletop, or meeting me back in child's pose if you're ready to take a break. Otherwise, if you want to build just a little bit more heat, we're going to take it left and right with our feet. So right foot out, back to center, left foot out, back to center. Start to make it faster. Start to really engage through the chest. So you're trying not to move the chest, just the legs. Maybe bringing the legs further up. Engaging oblique muscles. So you want to feel the muscles between the rib cage and the hip. You can make this smaller by bringing the knee up rather than the heel. Build a little more heat. Burn up what is no longer needed. Get rid of some excess energy. And then meet me in Child's. So maybe flipping the palms in Child's, or bringing the hands to prayer and bringing the prayer over your head. So a little bit more of a surrender. Think about releasing. Find your breath. Slowly bring it all the way down to the stomach. Take a quick reset. If you wish to stay in a crocodile pose for your final resting pose, go ahead and stay here. We're going to work the neck a little before we move into resting pose. So if you're going to go into Shavasana, roll on over. If you really do want to just stay in a crocodile, take your resting pose already, start to loosen and soften into the ground. If you're coming onto your backs, take a second to really roll the hips around and find a soft low back. Because we're going to work the neck, jaw, some of these other muscles that tend to grip and hold on. So get nice and soft in the low back and the hips. Maybe even wiggle around. See if you can get your stomach to jiggle. See if you can get your legs to jiggle. See if you can get really soft in your base. Let your knees soften in towards each other. Feet on the ground, feet soft. Maybe even a little rub to the torso. Generate some warmth and let it soften. Take your shoulders, wiggle them left and right. So change the weight left and right on your shoulders. Maybe take the palms up with the arms bent and really, really wiggle through the shoulders. You're trying to get soft, 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 no gripping muscles. So I'm trying to find all the muscles that grip through the shoulders and chest. Take a deep breath in as you're wiggling, and as you exhale, sigh out and soften into the ground. See if your shoulder blades feel like they dropped a little heavier onto the ground. And then really thinking about the shoulder blades, maybe adjust the shoulders, the elbows, so they're a little wider. Palms are soft and facing up. Maybe this adjusts your shoulder blades so that they fall a little more into the ground. Take the chin, make sure it's pushing up towards the ceiling. So there's space. There's a nice soft curve in the back of your neck. Now find the back of your head, the point that is touching the ground, and give a little push. So push the back of your head into the ground, not a lot. Just gentle enough so that you can feel the muscles on the back of your neck. See if you can feel a little engagement in the muscles of the back of the neck, and then think about the muscles of the jaw. So if you cannot feel the space and connect to the space where upper and lower jaw meet, while pushing your head back into the ground, push your chin up to the ceiling. So find those opposite directions. See how much engagement you can find without increasing tension, without causing pain. So just connecting to the muscles. Press and hold, and then take a deep breath in. And with the exhale, see if you can release every single muscle you can find in the jaw, the neck, the face. See if you landed a little heavier into the ground. And then take a quick stand, because sometimes when we work with these muscles that hold tension, have holding patterns, you might notice you gripped somewhere else. You might have a hip that pulled or a low back muscle. Notice. Maybe you gripped with your toes. Check in on your holding patterns and try to re-soften. And then we're going to take our chin, press our chin to the ceiling a little, and then slowly take our chin over to the right. So really looking for as much length as possible on the left side of the neck. Then actively think about pressing the left shoulder blade down into the ground. See how much space you can get on the left side of the neck. Feel engagement across these muscles. Nice slow breath, sending it across the neck, opening the neck, maybe all the way into the ear. If you like, you can take the right hand and rest it on the left temple, giving yourself a little bit of feedback and a little bit of a push of your head back into your hands. You have some more feedback for some muscles to engage. Again, when we work with the neck, always work till you feel engagement, not until the end zone of anything. So you're just looking for connection to the muscles. We're not looking to strain anything. Be very careful with your neck. Really listen to your body. Take a deep breath in. Squeeze some muscles some more. And with the exhale, soften everything to the ground. Notice if your head kind of slingshots. See if your shoulders feel different, your jaw feels different. Notice. Take your head back to neutral. Press your chin to the ceiling first. Shoulders on the ground. Set up your base. And then slowly take your active chins. You're still pushing through the chin over to the left shoulder. Set up. Gentle push of the right shoulder down into the ground. Maybe you take your right hand to the left hand to the right temple. A little gentle feedback. Pressing your head into your hand into your head. Just finding a little more muscle engagement. Take a deep breath in, squeeze the muscles. Really think about connection to all these muscles that hold your head up. And with the exhale, let everything soften. Notice where you land. And then start to decide where you want to be for your resting pose. Maybe this is it. Maybe you lengthen your legs. Maybe you find a prop for under the knees. Find a place where all the muscles in your back can be very, very comfortable. So a resting pose is about releasing tension. So start to check in. Start to feel where your tension is. Maybe you commonly squeeze and grip in your feet. Maybe you squeeze and grip in your hands. Check in on all these places. Get to know where your own holding patterns typically are. And think about how you feel, perhaps different from when we started. Maybe some muscles feel different. Maybe your state of mind feels different. And when we ask all these questions, we're just guiding you to look in. There are no right or wrong answers. If you feel worse, that's a right answer. If you feel better, that's a right answer. There's no right or wrong answers. They're just answers and inquiries. Some days, we're going to do a bunch of stuff and maybe we feel worse. Not every practice is right for everyone. But the practice is to come to the mat and try and get to know the experience. And sometimes the practice that we love, some days will be the practice that we hate. So we get to know by looking in. Start to let go of control of even the breath. And we're going to think about burning up and cleansing purity for the mind. So A lot of people, when they think about meditation being the emptying of the mind, getting rid of all the thoughts. The thoughts are no longer there, and you have this clean, pure, empty mind. Meditation is allowing the thoughts to be where they are and finding focus elsewhere. And you can many tricks, many ways of placing your focus elsewhere. Today's practice is going to be using our imagination. So we're going to imagine a cleaning of our head. So cleaning, purity, we can think about it like using a broom, just the way we sweep the floor in our house. We're going to sweep the mind. So we're going to have a little visual, and we're not going to think of memories. We're not going to think of thoughts that bother us. We're going to think of things as if they were a visual. So think about dust on the floor, anything on the floor that you usually sweep up, crumbs, whatever. There are going to be little breadcrumbs in your head that are in the way. Think about all these patterns. It's not that we get rid of things that have happened to us, it's that we get rid of the familiar pathway we take in the head that often causes us distress. So we're going to sweep the pathways. We're going to clean up the head. So think about a nice, soft, swishing pattern of a broom. Think about getting into a pattern, that sweeping, cleaning, the satisfactory feeling of sweeping away dust and debris. Be present with the concept of sweeping, sweeping, sweeping. As if you're swishing energy through the left and right sides of your brain. Swish, swish, swish. And every time a distraction comes in, imagine just turning it into a little ball, a little dust ball, and swishing it, sweeping it into your pile, getting ready to clean it out. If you have the time to take, practicing and just returning to that swishing, cleaning kind of visual, go ahead and stay here and take as much time as you need. You need to finish up at 60 minutes. Imagine visualizing your little dust ball. See the dust ball. Start to connect back to your breath in the physical body. And imagine you're going to take one slow sweeping breath all the way through your head, inhaling fresh. And with the exhale, imagine you're going to sigh that dust ball out of your body. It's going to leave completely. And then roll on over slowly to a fetal position. And really connect to the concept of your head feeling a little bit clearer. Maybe your whole body feels a little bit clearer. Maybe you feel like a little bit more connected, a little bit more of a clear pathway to your innermost self. or bliss layer. And just as you're laying here connecting within, a careful note about purification. So almost every religious practice, every spiritual practice, everything that we practice has ways of discipline and purification written into the practice. Yoga has ways of purification and discipline. These can be ways that we end up judging ourselves. So we think of these rules and ways to live our life that we place in our life, and it makes our life better, run smoothly. It makes things more easeful in our lives. But when we fall off the wagon of our plan, we start to judge ourselves, and we can be very, very harsh with ourselves when we feel like we have broken our own rules. So think about purification as just connecting within, getting close to your own spiritual self, and think about the mistakes, the whoopsies, the falling off the wagon, the times that we're off the path as part of our journey. They're part of our lessons, part of the ways that we need to learn about ourselves so that we can move along our journey. Try to let go of the concept of being good and bad and just being whole. We have a whole self. We are not only our mistakes, and we are not only the times when we get it perfect. So taking your time, coming up to a seated position, and bring your hands to prayer in heart space. And take a moment to honor that wisdom that comes from within, the body's inner wisdom, your spiritual inner wisdom. And give yourself a little gratitude. Gratitude for coming to the mat, gratitude for trying practice. And then send that love and gratitude out from this space. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. Thank you for joining us.